You said my life for yeah. I got a life.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call to order the March 2024 regular scheduled meeting of the Board of Mayor and Selectmen. I'd like to ask our attorney to lead us in invocation, please.
All right, let us pray. Heavenly Father, we certainly do thank you and praise you for your grace and your mercy that you give to us in abundance.
That's right.
We thank you for another day, not just to be existent, but to hopefully be useful and impactful. And that's why we're here today as elected officials, as dedicated public servants, and as interested citizens. We pray your guidance over the entirety of this meeting. Give us discernment that's in the best interest of the city of West Point. And of course, we continue to pray for our community, this home of ours, and every citizen. We pray your continued protection and guidance, and we'll continue to give you praise, glory, and honor. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. CAO Jones, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. We'll entertain a motion to adopt and approve the agenda as printed.
I make a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second. Moved and properly second in discussion. All in favor by sign of voting aye. Any opposers? So ordered. Before we move into our new business, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out on this beautiful day. I know it's a pleasant break and pleasant surprise, a pleasantry from the weather we've been having to enjoy such a beautiful day. So I thank all of you for making the sacrifice to come out and see what's going on with the city government. Agenda item 5, we have asking for board approval of a donation in the amount of $100 to the Progressive Foundation of Clay County. This is for their annual sickle cell walk/run, 5K walk run. The date is April 27th, 9:15 a.m., starting at Marshall Park. What is the pleasure of the board?
I make the move that we donate $100 to the Progressive Foundation.
Second. Moved properly second, any discussion? All in favor by a sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered. Agenda item 6, asking for board approval for a non-proton resolution. This is to correct an oversight from an action taken back in October. We were briefed on that last night. Do we have any questions concerning this agenda item? There being none, what's the pleasure of the board?
I make the motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second. Moving properly second, any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? That is so ordered. Agenda item 7, we have with us this is not your time yet, is it? We're asking for board approval for a resolution authorizing the city of West Point to commit funds other than ARC funds to the project at East Half Mile that is being referred to as an industrial access road under the Mississippi Appalachian Regional Commission program.
Mr. I know we discussed last night the match, and this is the comparison, right?
We also have Mr. Griffin here, in accordance with that, you all may.
Can you hear me, Ken?
What we discussed last night, looking at the difference in the price.
Yeah.
So what is the city match?
200,000.
200,000?
Yes.
And that is because the governor cut us back.
Right, we originally requested 500,000, and he trimmed it back because he wanted to, there were other communities that, he's coming up to an election, he wants to try to spread the wealth, and, he cut us down to 300,000.
Coming out of what? The general budget? Sherman, coming out of the general budget?
No,
What we got?
2 mil, yeah,
Out of general budget?
yeah.
Non-electrical, non-water department, city?
I wish we could, but they won't allow us to do that.
You want to talk about the cost increase I brought?
Yes.
Of course. How you doing, Jimmy?
What that is the two cost estimates we had submitted to you guys. Sherman said y'all may have some questions about the reason for the increase, and I get that. I mean, I submitted a cost estimate one day for one amount and the same length of streets, we redo it, and also it's a pretty significant increase. What we're running into, we've got the biggest thing we're running into is scale economics. We had East Half Mile as part of a project that had over 12,000 tons of hot mix on it. And it's doing 10 miles worth of streets. Now we're cutting it back to 1,100 tons of hot mix on one project, and only doing a half mile. And when you cut something, when you scale it back that much, you're gonna pay more per foot for that street, just because of the, like I said, the size of the project. Another big factor is we're dealing with the federal government. Every time you deal with federal dollars, people say it has federal hand. It's got more requirements. You've got environmental requirements you have to do. You've already done a request for proposal for engineering services. I mean, that's more steps you've had to do. We submitted on the proposal. The contractor will be issued a federal mandated minimum wage. It's above the minimum wage you always hear about. Each position on the job will have a federal mandated minimum wage, and he will in turn have to do a payroll certification weekly, send it to go try to plan the development. They have to review it. They have to verify that he is paying above and beyond the minimum wage rate. And that's just stuff that adds on to the cost of the project. And kind of the last thing is the citywide job is more or less considered maintenance. Now on the ARC side, in order to qualify for the grant, we're having to do more improvements. We're adding more thickness of hot mix to it. We're doing more base repair. We're going to try to remove those abandoned railroad tracks that are out there to improve. We have to improve an industrial access to the industry in order to qualify for the ARC grant. yes, per foot, it increased the cost. But out of West Point's pockets, you're gonna decrease because you're applying for the ARC grant, so out of your pockets will be less money, even though on paper, yes, it looks like, and it is, it's a significant increase per foot street. And I'm just trying to clarify that. I hope I didn't muddy the waters anymore.
One question that I have, and I hope I'm not overstepping Selectman Turner, the mobilization cost of 50,000. There's no way to coordinate the overlay on this particular street with the street paving project that we're about to do to minimize that cost.
Possibly, you've got that possibility, but you don't know. There's no guarantee whoever's paving now is going to get that job. You know, it'd be hard to walk away, but all of a sudden he's loaded and he's got an MDOT job that he's getting beat over the head with. He may not come after, you know, this particular job as hot heavy. Then if he doesn't get it, then you've got to mobilize the paving contractor, the base repair people, the striping people, the sign, all those contractors will have to mobilize to this job.
Are we going to worry about this being added on to any more projects other than this, say across town or out in?
This is one job through ARC from East Half Mile from 6th Street to Ashton. That's it. It's one job.
So the difference is ARC, what they require.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Because you're benefiting that existing industry. Navistar is out there. I mean, all that had to be a part of the grant application in order to qualify for the money.
Which one of the cost estimates do we need to look at? The one you gave us for both of them on one?
The ARC funding, that's where we're at now.
So the total is 391,500, not 500.
But that's construction. You have all the soft costs on top of that. You'll have, we didn't include, I was trying to compare with the two differences in construction costs, because the citywide job does not have your triangle planning development. You won't have administration costs on it. This one will. It's got, I think, $35,000 in admin cost on it. So, I mean, it does have, it doesn't show the soft cost, the engineering report submitted to ARC's got all that.
John, can you explain to us how maintenance of traffic on one bid goes from 1,500 to 15,000 on the other?
All right, on the big job, we did that per street. So you've got 40 streets at $1,500, and again, the scale of it, you know, you're gonna get a better cost, whereas the guys that do the maintenance traffic, put up the orange signs, they're on this job, they've got to come to this particular job and do this for them. You know, again, we may get a break, if we get a break in, the same contractor gets it, it may not be as much, but they're.
I'll tell you what's based on last night, what I would like to see is a more apples to apples comparison.
Okay.
To where we can see exactly what the cost differences are.
Okay.
And this is not necessarily an apples to apples, it's more just like an apples to tomato.
Right, well, I will break that up for you, because on the citywide job, you know, you've got.
But even on this copy we have, there are things on the February 22nd, and I know it's going to break down differently with the citywide job.
Right.
John, who are we paying this money to? Are we paying it to you all, or are we paying it to the construction company? Who's
The construction cost goes to the construction company. Ours would be the engineering
part of it?
engineering part of that. That's correct.
Okay. And you have that broken down on this as well?
I can get that to you. I was trying to show just the cost of the construction. Because again, like I said, the ARC has the admin cost and things like that, that the citywide job does not have at all.
Yeah, we're not debating.
What do you mean the admin cost? So like the engineering costs, testing, administrative contingencies,
Yes, the administrative cost.
just the administrative cost?
Yes.
But the
That goes to
engineering,
go triangle plan and development.
Could you,
I would like to see a chart with, even if for the citywide job, with the same
Okay.
breakdown as for this individual project.
Okay, all right.
that's what we,
And again, kind of like the move and the maintenance of traffic, that looks kind of odd, but what we can, because again, when they're mobilizing and putting maintenance traffic, and we're spreading that across 40 streets, it looks a lot smaller than when you just got hammered on one job.
question.
Right?
We're not gonna hold you long. Time sensitive. Is it time sensitive? If do we need to act on it? Given the fact that Selectwoman Turner, wanted the breakdown of it tonight, you're asking us to authorize to go ahead on and do the funding. So what's your suggestion that we?
Yes, I would move forward with the funding, because, again, with the ARC funding, it's less money out of your pocket, because you're getting a grant.
But we still got to spend those.
Well, you do, but it doesn't cost you as much, I like to say, out of your pocket. So, I would recommend moving forward with that.
If we minimize some of these line items, would that not in turn minimize our portion of our contribution?
Some of it, but there is a required threshold. You've got to match a certain.
On a percentage?
Yes,
Well, if the numbers go down, then so goes the percentages.
that's true. And we do have some fluff in it, because you need to be. I don't want to come up here and tell y'all, all right, instead of $500,000 grant, we're going to, back them down. Let's say you got 300, you still don't have to put up,
We need to put the fluff in the motion.
Yeah,
We need to add that fluff in the.
Well, and you don't want to get to the grant process and all of a sudden we're looking at, where you've applied and you said we're only at 350,000 of us, at $400,000. Then all of a sudden we come in here with bids, everything works out to 500. I mean, then y'all gonna all be looking at me like, well, who's gonna come up with other additional funds? So you want to kind of.
Yeah, you're kind of overshooting it.
That's right.
But we would, as an administration, like for you to, as best you can, cut as much fluff out of it as you can, because at the end of the day, we still have to be good fiduciaries of
That's right.
taxpayer dollars.
That's
And I'm sure you will.
Yes, and again, if we could guarantee the contractor that gets a citywide job would get this, then yeah, you can get back this way, but there's no way, there's no way we're gonna know. Who's gonna get that? But I'll do a breakdown of engineering and, try to make it relative per street and then on this street.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Been moved and properly second that we proceed with the resolution. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye.
With the motion of you're gonna get the paperwork showing the cost, you're gonna break it down, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yep, I'll get on that part.
Do we need to include that in the motion?
I don't think so. I mean, that really, you're moving forward with, build tracking plan and development,
We would
for the
like to,
application.
we would like to see that now.
But,
We would like to see it, the breakdown of it.
okay, I'll get to you tomorrow. I will.
Okay.
All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Uh,
Any opposers? So ordered. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thanks,
y'all.
John.
Agenda item 8, as many of you know, we got awarded $500,000 from the state legislature for the purpose of renovation at City Hall. And we have engaged an architectural firm, which is Pryor Morrow. And agenda item 8 is relative to that. They have to do an asbestos and lead paint assessment. And so the approval of this recommendation initiates that. Any questions? What's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make the motion that we approve the recommendation for the lid for prior tomorrow.
Second.
Moving properly second, any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye. Opposers? So ordered. Agenda item 9 is along the same line. It's relative to the renovation to the roof, same pot of money, same architectural firm. This recommendation is for the roof core sampling. Any questions? What's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make that motion. Approve the recommendation for the roof sample, primarily.
Second.
Moving properly second, any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? That's so ordered. Agenda item 10, I will ask Mr. Jones to come up. Asking for board approval for standby pay for, what's the word, that water department crews commensurate with electric department.
He voted.
Do we have questions for Mr. Jones on this agenda item? Can you kind of give a little backdrop on what this is about?
The electric department crews have standby crews as well as the water department crews. In past years, the electric department crews have been awarded 8 hours a day, every pay period, for the time they have to stay at home, that they don't get called out, they can't go anywhere else. We're asking that we do the same thing for the water department standby crews.
Okay, I think a question came up last night. Did we do our research to see if we were already paying water crews for standby?
Mr. Mayor, the board, we clarified with the HR and they are.
So the water crews are getting paid standby pay already. Okay.
What's the difference? Go ahead.
The only department that I know of that's not getting the standby pay would be the sewer, wastewater treatment folks. So, do you have a question?
Sure. What is the difference in standby and comp? What's the difference in that?
Comp time is what they use in lieu of overtime, when they actually are at work. It's hard to quantify, like, you're on standby for a week at a time, 24 hours a day. Generally, in the evening hours when you're not at work during your regular hours, that you can't go anywhere else. You gotta stay at home, keep your pager on, and come to work immediately if you're called. And we get a lot of calls from 911 to be present for duty. Not so much in
You get a lot of calls from 911 as far as the wastewater treatment.
Yeah, we're just talking about employees wastewater. They're not getting paid.
What the question I'm asking, do you get a lot of 911 calls concerning wastewater?
No,
Okay.
but they're also at the wastewater plant or at home on the route to the wastewater plant, almost 24/7, one or more individuals. Particularly with all this discharge we get from PICO. It's kind of a never-ending process of hours, dedication. That, at any rate, those guys, you know, stand by all the time.
Do wastewater treatment get comp time? Don't they get comp time? Right?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, they get comp time, don't they? So what would be the difference of getting comp time versus
Comp time is
this
for
right here?
actual overtime work.
what staying at home 24/7? That's classified as overtime to me. I mean,
Standby is you're being paid to be on standby. You can't like go on vacation on your off day or the days that you're off because you have to stay close to where you make.
I get that, but what I'm saying is the comp time is when you're doing comp time, you ain't out of town and get paid for comp time as well.
But you're actually working. You actually have work, perform duties to get the comp time. See what I'm saying? It's like, it's the substitute for overtime. You have to actually have done the work in order to be, you either get overtime compensation or you get comp time for the work that you've done. It's conceivable that you could get standby pay and nothing ever happens, but you got paid for being available just in case something happens. And the electric department already gets that. And now, instances that I do know pertaining to wastewater is everybody knows we've been having some issues with PICO and the dumps that they've been unloading on our wastewater plant. And I know for a fact that Mr. Dawes has to come out all times of nights when that system is interrupted or upset and perform work to it. Now I know he probably gets compensated for that.
Is that comp time?
I think so. I think that'll be comp time, but
If he actually comes to work, that's what they're doing, it's some top time. But, 911 doesn't normally contact the wastewater, that's normally done through the SCADA system, through the alarms that they can get, on their phones, laptops.
Okay, so example, Public Works. Can they be classified as the same thing? The consummate of saying, hey, one of my workers, we on call, we got to stay at home, we get paid regardless. Would that be the same example? Would that be the same example? Okay, so now if we pass that along,
I don't think they have a standby list.
say that again?
They don't have a standby list. There's nobody being forced to stay at home after normal working hours.
So public work come in, they get comp time, right? If they go work after hours, they
That's
comp
right,
time.
they come in, they get.
Right. But I think the difference is, on call or whatever, standby the same thing. If they tired of the house, can't leave. They're not working, but they can't leave.
They don't have to stay at home, they're not restricted from family
Right.
or, personal time.
What would be the definition of that? Go ahead.
I was gonna say you have to be in a position where you can respond in case something does happen.
Right.
You can't be on standby and be in Memphis.
Mall,
Something happens.
movie theater, so there aren't any here in town.
Are there no situations where Public Works has to be called outside of office hours?
If they're called out, it's because of a very unusual situation normally.
But how are they contacted if we don't have a standby list? What are they contacted
We
from?
got all this up on them, we would primarily call it department heads and let them notify them.
All right, that's what I was trying to.
I think the attorney has some questions.
All right, it may be clear. So, Mr. Jones, help me understand. We have which individuals do we currently place on standby? Electric department. Who else?
The water department on the work crew, that's the guys that deal with water and sewer problem. Water lines breaking.
And do all those treated the same way, or is the electric department employees treated differently from the others who are on standby?
The electric department and the water department, I'm gonna tell you this, the wastewater department is not treated the same way as the water and light.
So we have three groups similarly situated. Two of them receive pay for being on standby. One of them doesn't. And as I understand your request, you want to make them the same sign, that all three would receive that. Is that the request?
That's correct.
That's correct.
You simplified it pretty good. But what if Public Works and the other departments want requesting the same thing? How
They
would,
want to stay home or whatever else, and y'all think that that's a great idea, they just don't get called out very often. I can tell you when they go get called out.
they don't get called out very often?
Major weather events, traffic accident, which not normally that many call out that either.
With all due respect, Mr. Jones, Public Works get called out more than anybody.
Say what?
With storms and trees down and everything down, more so than anybody
They're
else.
just like everybody else, when you go to work, you get credit for overtime in the form of comp time.
I get that. I'm just saying that the request of I'm just trying to get an understanding, that's all.
If they want to do what,
Yeah,
the same thing.
If they are to be expected to be available outside of office hours, or business hours, what's the difference between them and
Right now, to my
the
knowledge,
electric
they're not
department or
required.
the water department?
Exactly.
That's right.
They're all expected to be able to be available. Somebody from that department has to be available if a catastrophic event happens or something that calls them outside of normal office hours.
A hurricane coming our way and Public Works, and you tell the Public Works, hey, I need your crew to be ready because we got maybe a category 4 hurricane coming through town. Then what would be the difference with
Generally
that.
tell them about 2 days in advance, because we get advance knowledge of that. And they can do everything from shift to work schedule, to preparatory time off before the event actually hits us. Power outages happen whenever, water line breaks happen whenever, no advance notice. And I don't have a problem if you want to do this across the board, that's fine.
I have a question. Is there a mandate from, say TVA that we have a standby? Is that like mandated from a higher authority? Or we mandated from DEQ to have people on standby in case our wastewater, situation requires somebody to come in?
On the wastewater side, I'd have to refer to Sean. I don't know for sure, but, I can tell you, our notification system for problems with wastewater are through SCADA systems that are automatically transmitted to their cell phones, whatever else I normally process through 911, because they have no way of knowing if it's a problem. The SCADA system is monitored electronically from various sensors throughout the plant to tell you if you've got everything from flow problems to BOD problems, dissolved oxygen, suspended solids, etc. When they get those notices, they gotta go. We have events like this rain event last weekend. We know ahead of time that we're gonna have a problem. And I guarantee you, they don't wait for the SCADA system necessarily. They check in on that plant off and on multiple times a day, multiple hours a day. Generally, when we know it's coming like that, that's a 7-day-a-week job. If we got that kind of rainfall we had the last month.
I'm good, Ms. Mayor. I know that simplified it pretty good, but I would definitely leave it up to the department head to request the same thing if need be. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm good. All right, good work.
So what do I hear? I guess if we're gonna entertain this one, the motion needs to be, instead of water department crews, it needs to be specific to the wastewater department. Is that what I understand? Since the water department crews we determined are already getting standby.
Yeah, they are. According to HR, mayor board, according to HR, for the WPS, the water department and the electric department are getting paid standby pay. We looked at that, we asked me to clarify last night. That's the clarification of this motion. That the water department and the electric department standby crews are currently getting paid standby pay. Am I not right? That's correct.
So we need the wastewater.
Who's gonna monitor that standby? Who's gonna be in charge? Randy, you gonna be?
That's gonna be through, Margot makes a schedule out. And then the department head is responsible, Sean will be responsible for his people, and Marty will be responsible for the water crews.
What about water treatment? Do they fall under the water crew?
Yeah.
So Lawrence, that's separate? So what about Lawrence's, crew?
I think that's fine, if that's what you want to do, they kind of in the same boat, so they'll have to be there.
We'll let him as that head to
Yeah,
make
that
that.
looks smart, they put up a recommendation there. Most of the time, there's somebody at the plant all the time. I'd defer to him.
All right,
So department heads, we're looking for y'all to bring your departments up if they are not, because we kind of just don't know.
so what do I hear?
I'm kind of confused right now. So what went on?
The motion would be that the wastewater personnel who are on standby would be treated the same way the water and electric department personnel are, as I understand it.
Okay, we want to let them know. I make the motion.
The clarify with the piggyback what you just said around the world, we're just saying that the other department heads that's not included in this, eventually probably is gonna look at this motion and bring to our attention the same thing.
Hold on, there's a motion on the floor.
Right.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moving properly second, any discussion? Got more discussion? What about?
No, good.
But the department heads heard that, right? Yes.
All in favor, by a sign of vote now. Any opposed?
Go ahead again.
Opposed? So ordered. Agenda item 11 is yours. Also, asking for board approval to declare specific items as surplus for disposal. I think we were presented a list last night with all those items on it. Any questions for Mr. Jones at this time? There being none, what do I hear?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve, declare specific surplus property for the disposal of the IAW state statute.
In a second.
Moving properly second, in discussion. All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And so ordered. All right, agenda item 12. We also had lengthy discussion about last night, asking for board approval to receive a donation of private property from TriMac. And property location is the corner of North Division and West Half Mile, I think I'm right. The property that is directly across the street from the old Artex building or property.
The one thing I didn't have for you guys last night that you asked for, and I have tonight, to see what effect that would have on city taxes. They pay $168 a year for that property, city tax, pay $230 a year for school tax.
No effect.
So you're right, and so no real monetary effect. We assume liability for that property, which I can't imagine.
And again, I'm not encouraging one way or the other, but that's the answer to your question, why you think about it, I wanted to table it.
If, for clarity, this approximate 6 acres of land is in a flood zone.
6 acres.
6 acres, is that what you told me last night?
Right.
Give or take. So we can either accept the donation and take $168 annually off the tax roll and find a use for it, or we can let it stay like it is, and if we find a use for it, come back to the table at that time and see if they're still willing to donate.
Or you can give it to me.
Well, I mean, that sounds good too. Well, let's get the ball rolling. So moved.
So is that a motion?
That is a motion.
Accept the donation?
That is a motion.
Second.
Moved properly second that we receive this donation. Any discussion?
We'll future donate it to Orlando.
All in favor by sign of voting aye. Aye. Any opposed? So ordered.
Yeah, that was later.
Hang on, kid.
There's nothing else we can say if I would now.
It does have Tim on it.
Yeah, got Tim on it.
Agenda item 13, we have representation from the Concho Street Music and Heritage Festival Committee, asking the board to approve a sponsorship for the 3rd year of this event. The dates for the festival are May 10th and 11th. I will ask, which one of you power players want to come to the podium?
We let both of them come on. Let both of them.
But I'm gonna call because you all have already approved the donation for the Progressive Street Foundation. So on behalf of the foundation, I want to say thank you all for that, and I'm hoping to see you all there on April 27th, walking or running with us. So thank you. And I do appreciate the opportunity to come before the board on behalf of the Concho Street Music and Heritage Festival. This is our 3rd year of having the festival and hosting the festival. And thank God we have had no problems for the past 2, so that's a blessing in itself. We want to thank you all for the donation that you've done in the past 2 years. We really appreciate it. We appreciate y'all's support. Again, we're coming again asking for your support monetarily. We would love to have 10,000, but I know I'm reaching. So, you know, they said speak it. You don't get it if you don't ask for it. But, whatever you all decide to give us, we really will appreciate it. I do want to acknowledge that it has boosted the economy because we have revenue coming in. We have people from all over coming to West Point for the festival. So that is a boost to the economy, as well as this year, those vendors that participate in the festival will be paying sales tax. So that's a plus for the West Point City and the economy as well. So please take that in mind and in consideration as you approve our monetary request for helping us with the 3rd annual Country Street Music and Heritage Festival.
Ms. Poston, a question for you, and I think that I've heard some discussion in light of the recent incidents that we've had in our city, county. I think you all have boosted the security for this year.
That is
as far as
correct.
the number.
Yeah, we're looking for 15 security guards. We had 10 last year, so we did increase the request to 5 more, so a total of 15. And I believe the security company is called First Priority. I spoke with Sheriff Scott last Thursday, I believe it was, so he met with the board and been discussing that with the chairman, which is Ms. Shelton as well. And we know that has, for safety concern,
Right.
we're concerned as well as you all are, and we're putting in measure to make sure, we getting the security that's a walkway, because that was one of the issues that we had last year, that we can get, to and from and without crowd of people. But we have increased the security request to 15, as well as working with the sheriff department. Last year, they always have provided manpower to be there to help us secure the event, as well as the safety of our citizens and the constituents. So we'll be looking for them, and I'm sure the chief of police as well, they provide manpower as well. So it's pretty much covered. It's a blessing that we haven't had any incident, and we're gonna thank God in advance that we're gonna pray that the same thing does occur this year as well.
Do you remember how much we donated last year?
It was 6,000.
Mr. Mayor, I make the motion that we donate 8,000 to the Country Street Foundation for the Country Street Music Heritage Festival.
That's a good motion.
And what we did is we just kind of
Thank you, we appreciate it.
split it from what you asked.
Appreciate y'all.
Been moved and properly second. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, on the basis that the festival improves the morale of the city, casts the city in a positive light, and it advertises the services of the city of West Point.
And we really appreciate you all being there and your support and being involved. We couldn't make it happen without your support and without the city and without the constituents here as a whole, the whole community as well. Really have helped us out to make this a fantastic event. And we pray that we can continue to do the same thing each and every year. With your support and your blessing. Again, thank you.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Mr. Mayor, my comments weren't just my own. The motion needs to include that finding by the board for spending city funds.
Okay, can we amend that motion?
For the reason that the Country Street Music Festival is increasing the morale of the city as well as revenue, I make the motion that we continue to financially support it, and this year we increase the donation to 8,000.
That's good, Lana. Okay.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Any opposers? And so on. Thank you, ladies, for all your hard work, and all the committee members. We appreciate all that you do. Agenda item 14, asking for board approval for MMAO travel. The dates are June 23rd, 27th, 2024. The list of attendees.
You have it on back.
Okay. The list of attendees are myself, Selectwoman Turner, Selectman Binder, Selectman McBrayer, Selectman Poole, Mr. Eddie Longstreet, Mr. Jeremy Klutz, Mr. Chris Cox, Mrs. Dolores Doss, Ms. Natasha Rose, and Miss Carla Golden.
Ms. Mayor, who submitted that?
This list was submitted to me by Natasha. These are the people that asked her about, or inquired to her about that they wanted to go to MMA. And we can approve it as a whole, or we can have cherry pick it if you want to.
Cherry pick.
Okay, who do we not want to approve to go?
Have Ms. Golden, have she paid her the money back that she owed rent?
CAO Jones, has Ms. Golden made good on the monies that she owed? She did? Okay, well.
Is she making the bank deposits on time?
The question was, is she making bank deposits on time?
I'll have to check on the last, all 57.
All right, well, we have another meeting, or maybe two, before the actual event. So if you guys want to take one or more persons off to approve at a later date or not approve at a later date.
And have you all seen this list? Do you all approve this list? You all make the recommendations on this list? Is this according to you all's recommendation? Okay, well, you all get the list and kind of weed it out before you all give it to us. Don't make us do this.
Now, in all fairness, select woman, I think last night, I instructed everybody who wanted to go to contact Natasha Rose, who was the CFO, because she was responsible for the block of rooms. So in all fairness, that wasn't even on.
But travel is, with all due respect, Mr. Mayor, travel is submitted by the department head, which means it falls under their checks and balance before it gets to us, where we don't have to check and balance it. I don't feel like that is our responsibility to check and balance that list when there are proper channels to check and balance it before. That's well aware of what we have going on before it even gets to us, so we don't even have to discuss this in open meeting.
Right. The problem that I got is I don't want to start this thing of I want to go. Okay, you can go, get on the list. But what's the reason for going? I just want to go. What's the reason that they on the list to go? What is their reasoning to do what? What's the objective?
Well,
For us to just say, hey, anybody can come up and say, I want to go. Okay, you can go. We're gonna pay for it. Just go. So what you going for? If we paying you to go, what's the reason behind you going?
well, for the sake of continuity of this meeting, I'll take credit for this list that's submitted.
You take credit.
I'll take credit for this list. You do have the right to exclude whoever you want to.
What's your recommendation? If you take credit.
Yeah, I'll say we approve everybody but Miss Carla Golden until we can find out further whether her job performances warrants her going.
So
Second.
Moving properly second in discussion. All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Are you clear on the motion? That so carries.
thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. Item 16 is asking for board approval for travel. Dorothy Ryland.
Mr. Mayor, excuse me, I need to recuse myself. Step out.
Do we got that? Step out of that door. We make him sit down.
Oh, I'll come back to it. No. Let me do 15 first. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. Agenda item 15 is asking for board approval for travel for myself and the board to attend a trip to Washington DC, should be April 10th through the 12th. It's listed as 9th through the 12th on the agenda, but it should be April 10th through the 12th.
I move we approve the board to travel, the mayor and board to travel to DC April 10th through 12th.
Second.
Is the engineers going? Chris, y'all going?
Yeah.
Y'all going? Y'all going? Go, okay, good.
Yeah, in addition to the board, Mr. Eddie Longstreet will be attending also.
Good.
I guess the motion is to read that since he's not a member of the mayor of the board.
Okay.
Not the mayor or a member of the board.
I will amend the motion to include Eddie Longstreet.
Second.
Moving properly second, any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered. All right, agenda item 16. Asking for board approval for Ms. Dorothy Ryland, trip to Biloxi for the Affordable Housing Conference, April 15th through 19th. Mr. Williams abreasted us last night on what the intent of this conference was about. Do we have any questions for him?
We good. So move.
Moved properly second, and discussion. On discussion that I have is we look forward, Ms. Dorothy, to you bringing back some great information. We are in the process, I am in the process, this administration is in the process of addressing some of our affordable housing needs. And so I'm sure you will be abreast with a lot of valuable information that you can bring back to us.
Yes, she has always, Dot has always been adamantly about helping people with their housing and stuff. Saturdays, she had things up here on Saturday mornings. Am I not right? Yeah, coming up here and you give them out information for trying to help them get placement in the house. So I look forward for you to go down there and bring that good information back so you can help us. That's a good thing because people need a place to stay. We bringing all this industry in, and we lacking the housing. We bringing a lot of industry in. Let me repeat that, but we lacking the housing. You know, and I have a serious problem. You know, this is with the local banks. They're not being good. I don't know what the word I'm trying to say, but the banks are not doing the younger generation right on trying to help them get in these houses or build houses. You notice everybody else around us is building houses, but it's not happening here. But we bragging on how much industry we're bringing here. So I look forward to you going down there bringing that information. Maybe we can, Mr. Mayor, we can come up with some with these banks to put fire up under them that peel out some of that money that they hold on to help with this.
I'm open to any discussion that promotes positive things in West Point. Any more discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Any opposers? So ordered. Agenda item 17 is asking for board approval for Ms. Dorothy Ryland, again, Biloxi, dates April 29th through May 3rd, and this is for the Mississippi Partners in Preparedness Conference.
So
Second.
Moving properly second, and discussion. All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered. Yes, we do. I did it with the, yeah. Moving a little bit too fast. In oversight, clerk just brought to my attention, we neglected to, because I did not entertain a motion for it, to approve the consent agenda.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Moving properly second that we approve our consent agenda. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered. Charge that one to long days. Agenda item 18, asking for board approval. Travel for Mr. Tyon Robinson to attend Fire Academy, dates April 7th through May 23rd in Pearl, Mississippi.
Make the motion for travel for Tyon Robinson.
Second.
Moved and properly second. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered. Agenda item 19, asking for board approval, travel for Mr. Courtney Gardner to attend Fire Academy. Again, dates April 7th through May 23rd, Pearl, Mississippi.
I make the motion to approve travel for Courtney Gardner, Fire Academy, April 7th, May 23rd.
Second.
Moving properly second. Any discussion? All in favor by the sign of voting aye. Any opposers? So ordered. Additionally, item 20, asking for board approval, travel for Mr. Robert Fair to attend Fire Academy, April 7th, May 23rd.
Make the motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Been moved properly second. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye. Any opposers? All right, at this time, it's not on the agenda, but I'm gonna make room for our sheriff to come up. I think y'all just made some revisions to the Crime Stoppers.
That's correct. Good afternoon. It's always an honor and a privilege to come before y'all and speak. This afternoon, I am here on behalf of Crime Stoppers, and I have something to give you on top of that. May I approach Mr. Mayor?
Sure.
I'll give you the total. He's like he's getting too comfortable over here. What he's passing out is a state statute that gives the authority to what I'm here to talk about tonight. Basically, the Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers, as y'all know, is a very unique organization within itself. This organization probably is one of the largest tools that we have in our toolbox to use. Over the years, it has been successful, but in the last few years, as y'all know, the times that we're living in, the type crimes we're seeing, it has become much more important. And the main thing about this program and what we stress is that the Crime Stoppers program is anonymous. We now have, not only in addition to the phone number that you can call, we also now have the Code and Triangle Crime Stoppers P3 app. This is an app that can be downloaded on the phone. And what is so very unique about this app, that it is also anonymous. The caller can actually, or excuse me, the person that's texting our coordinator can actually text back and forth through this app and remain anonymous. The other special thing about this is that you can actually download videos and pictures and see it the whole time being anonymous. And I can tell you right now, in the past week, we have seen this P3 app it's been smoking. As you know, the Crime Stoppers pays $1,000 leading to arrest. The board does have the authority in special circumstances, to raise this to $9,999. With the increase that we've seen with this P3 app, and part of it has to do with the streets we live in. Y'all know that a lot of our citizens are scared to talk for good reason. We've seen houses shot up, we've seen vehicles shot in intersections. Our citizens are scared. So many times we'll actually get phone calls through the Crime Stoppers. They don't want money. They just want to report the information. They want the neighborhood safe. So we have really been out here promoting the Crime Stoppers. Actually, as y'all know, WCBI just acquired WLOB not too long ago. We're actually going to be on every Tuesday morning, I think between 8 and 9, to get the specifics worked out. And we're actually going to be using a crime from my area. You know, this week it may be West Point, next week it may be the city of Columbus. But we're really going to be out there pushing on this thing. What you're looking at right there is the Mississippi Code 453917 is set by the legislature that allows municipalities and counties to collect money from the assessed fines of these municipalities and counties. Right recently, approached Clay County Board. Ours has been $1 since 1992. This statute allows for a maximum of $2. And with the increase of our calls to Crime Stoppers and us as a whole, as law enforcement in our community, asking people to get involved and give us the information, we're hoping to be spending more money in the near future. And we're already seeing the increase in these calls. So tonight we're going around to each county and municipality requesting that if you would, I'm not sure if y'all have $1, maybe a little bit less, find out, but we're just requesting that this be raised. Again, you can do any amount you want up to the $2. If you don't do the 50 cents, you know, that's a blessing. It's just that we're trying to get money in there to be able to pay when these people call us and give us information on crimes. As you know, crimes involving homicide, aggravated assault, rape, this pays more money. And we're hoping to start paying out a lot more money. So again, we're just approaching, Lowndes County just recently voted up, I said Clay County, the city of Bainbridge just done it, Octagon, the city of Stark was in the process of doing the same thing.
And so for clarity, this is just an assessment on top of the ticket price. So it wouldn't actually cost the city any more money. It's assessed to people who got ticketed.
That's correct. It's assessed to your traffic citations that's coming through the municipal court. So no money out of the city coffers. The violators are actually paying the cost.
And you say up to $2?
Yes.
Where we at now?
I was gonna ask, Chief Cook, what are we paying now? Does anybody know for the PD? Chief Cook, what is our assessment now that goes to Crime Stoppers currently? 50 cents?
That's what I thought.
Okay.
What you recommend, Chief? They would go up $2. Go ahead with the ticket. Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Moving properly second that we increase that assessment to $2. In discussion?
Question, what is the app again?
The Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers P3 app. P is
And that's
Paul,
available
3.
now?
Yes, you can go to the App Store and download that to your phone.
Is there any way to push that out to the public? How does the public know about that?
We have been pushing it. That's another reason when we're starting this TV programs, we're really gonna be putting, it's gonna be up on the TV screen the whole time. So this thing is just really kind of getting off the ground and really going. So we're gonna be doing a big promotional push. You're gonna see that's coming hot and heavy. And please share it, we're just trying to get that code on everything that we're doing right now. Every time we run Crime Stoppers on TV, we ask them to run that barcode on the bottom. They don't always do it. Sometimes they do. They always do get our phone number up there. But as y'all know yourself, this is the world. Everybody's got a cell phone. The app is the way to go. People rather text ahead and make a phone call. I mean, we're in the same situation. I understand. So we're really going to be pushing this. But on behalf of the Crime Stoppers program, we do appreciate y'all. Appreciate the city's support. Chief Cook and them is always right in there with us, working together. We got a lot of information coming through Crime Stoppers. Again, we just appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I would, as an attorney, we would need just an order stating that so that we can have to get into our finance person for Crime Stoppers and to the state Crime Stoppers organization.
Okay, so we haven't put it to a vote yet.
I make the motion.
No, the motion been made, been second. The discussion, all in favor by side of vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? That's so ordered. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you all, as always, it's a pleasure.
We will move into our department heads reports. Any questions for Tori and EMA? Building department, building inspector, fire chief.
Other than thanking y'all for the travel.
Any questions for fire chief?
You up to manpower, right?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. So I rating, what about our rating?
Our ratings are correct, it's 5.
Public works,
Representation had jobs, had 3 guys that were moved up. 4.
You good work?
Good.
Okay.
police department.
We got to make the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, he made a motion. Okay, I was talking, I'm sorry. My bad, hold on. All right, what, can you give us those names?
Mr. Leon Phillips.
So move.
Second.
Moving properly second, any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered.
Mr. Sam had 4 times. Mr. Rico Smith.
Hold on.
Kelly,
So move.
Second.
moved and properly second, any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Mr. Rico Smith.
I can't hear you.
Mr. Rico Smith.
Rico Smith.
So move.
Second.
Moved and properly second, any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered.
Mr. Dennis Scott.
Dennis Collins.
He was on part-time. He been part-time that long? So move.
Second.
Moved properly second, any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered. Anything else, Public Works? Thank you. PD? Chief?
Good afternoon.
Hey.
I have several things. One thing that I didn't mention on my text and paper I sent out to you, but this comes from the court. Our assistant deputy clerk, she's going to resign, so she sent a letter of resignation. So I asked the board to accept their letter of resignation for Alexis Ewing.
And that's the municipal court clerk.
Yes, deputy clerk. Yes.
I move we accept resignation of deputy court clerk.
Clerk, yes, ma'am.
What's that?
Alexis Ewing.
Moved properly second that we accept the resignation of Ms. Alexis Ewing. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered.
Next, we have
Chief, real quick. What are you gonna do about the hiring to replace her?
go through the interview process. Got somebody in mind? We'll talk about that.
No.
But that's gonna be the judges and the court clerk. Next, we have a letter of resignation from an officer, Kirbis Allen.
I move we accept the resignation of Officer Allen.
Second.
Moved properly second, any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered.
Now I ask the board to hire Quentin Salisbury. He's a certified officer, about like 8-9 years of service. And he wants to become full-time here in Westmore.
I move we accept Chief Cook's recommendation, Officer Salisbury.
Second.
Moved properly second that we hire Mr. Salisbury. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye. Any opposers? So ordered.
One at the football player.
Yes.
Mississippi
Football
State.
at Mississippi State.
State ball.
Next would be a Marvin Hughes. He's coming from Starkville, worked at Starkville and several other places. But he's going to come to West Point, so I asked the board to hire Marvin Hughes.
I move we accept Chief Cook's recommendation to hire Marvin Hughes.
Second.
Moved properly second that we hire Mr. Hughes. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered.
And the next one will be Cameron Hines. He's the one, he's not certified, but he'll be attending the police academy.
I move we accept Chief Cook's recommendation. What's the name again?
Cameron Hughes, I'm sorry, Hines, Cameron Hines,
Where you from?
from Stark.
From Stockton.
He worked for the fire department over there.
He got to come, you got to send him to the police academy.
Yes, sir.
Once he graduates, now you got to tell him, you got to stay.
We got that taken care of.
Okay,
We got a contract now, so.
okay. So let one range motion.
Been moved. You got a second?
Second.
Been moved properly second that we hire Mr. Hines. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? So ordered.
Quick question, Chief. All of these, are they all coming in as office, patrol officers, or?
Initially coming as patrol officer, then we're moving about it.
What does it do with your number?
With the one resigning, that'll put us at 30, and we're sliding to 36.
So that's your magic number, 36?
That's the number we're sliding.
We in the budget committee, it's gonna get the breakdown of your cars, the price of your cars.
We're working on that now.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay.
And the last one we have is Justin Livingston. He's already working for us part-time, and he wants to become full-time.
Is he certified, not certified?
Yes, sir, he's certified.
So move.
Second.
Been moved properly second that we hire Mr. Livingston. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote now? Any opposed? And so ordered. I'm hearing Starville on a few of these people, they wouldn't happen to be following Mr. Elwood.
Exactly. We brought him with him.
That's a good thing. Thank both of them. That's right. As we, build out the park. Appreciate it. Any questions for Chief Cook? Thank you, sir. Park and Rec.
Just was on the report, so had great turnout for baseball, softball, baseball, back over 400 kids. So thanks, that's been growing the last 4 years, so things moving up.
I think you said that's your best number since before COVID.
Mr. Mayor, this is probably, I don't know if it's in order, out of order, but I wanted the board to seriously think about, with all this going on, with, the shootings and everything, and recreation, we need to maybe, Orlando, look at, putting camera systems at the civic and different places, more, where cities have, outside functions. I wanted to bring it to the board attention right quick that, you know, we need to have cameras out, probably out to the park. It wouldn't be a bad idea we had cameras out to the park. It wouldn't be a bad idea we had cameras at the civic center there because we host a lot of things there. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have them in high traffic areas now that dealing with outside functions that the city's on city property. I just want to bring that to you. Maybe we need to put that in a motion or draw it up, Orlando. I'm gonna hush and let you.
Well, here's one thing I will update you on. In the street lighting project that we just did with PATH, there was some monies budgeted for cameras. I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 42,000. We're right now talking with Chief Cook on which vendor we're gonna use, how many cameras we're gonna get. But that's in reference to your high traffic areas. Also, we had some talks today with Wagner on our trip to DC. We plan on talking with our federal legislators about getting some stipend, I guess you call it, to finance some cameras citywide.
Yeah, we
Under the auspices of public safety.
Yeah, we definitely need, and that's an ASAP agenda item of discussion. We need to get that in motion like quick, because when the weather is changing, it's getting nice outside. We definitely need to put those cameras in place because, you know, nowadays you just don't know what's going to happen.
And another measure that we're taking, and I should say publicly, we currently don't have fiber out around some of our critical infrastructure. And Mr. Jones has been in conversation with Fort County in this new fiber initiative that they're laying, and they pledged to lay us fiber in those areas so that we can get cameras run out there as well, right? So yeah, cameras is a heated discussion item here as of late, and so I feel your concerns on that.
Yeah, we need to do the civic quicker than we can do anything else. Just we able to do that because the fiber is there, right?
Yeah, we should have fiber's not the city. Oh, Wi-Fi, but yeah.
Well, we can use wireless camera.
Well, it may be a situation where, you know, in this allotment of money that we already have, that we're already talking about cameras, maybe we can fit a camera and get it placed up around the city.
Yeah.
The money's already there for that one. We just haven't identified what vendor and how many cameras we're gonna get for 42.
And that would be right.
No, actually, I'm working that through Chief because he has some connections with some vendors that we're gonna kind of see what they got to offer. But Roy is gonna be the go-to guy for the cameras at the infrastructure sites. We're talking to him about that one.
So Chief, you'll be the one to get it started at the civic, put the cameras up at the civic. Okay, well, let's go ahead on and get that ball rolling with the civic then. If it's all right with the board, Mayor, it's all right. Mr. Mayor, it's all right with you.
Oh yeah, I mean, once we determine what cameras we're gonna get and how many we're gonna get, it may be a situation where we only get 3 cameras, and we may determine that, you know, that those 3 are needed somewhere else. You know, I mean, I know that the Civic has events, but I think these cameras, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, I think the cameras that we were kind of talking about were ones that kind of go in traffic light areas. But I mean, we can probably put them wherever we want to. But the discussion has been around like high traffic area lights.
Now, I would want them at places like the Civic and out to the park, especially during this time, you know.
All right. Thank you for that. Where were we? Deputy CEO.
Mr. Mayor, before you leave there, Park and Rec, I still wanna, we need to still ask for some kind of way to get a gym for our kids. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna work through different agents.
Have you drawn up the plan? We asked you to get these,
Cost estimate, anywhere $2 to $3 million.
well, no, just a gym, no elaborate.
Well,
It's not elaborate, right?
Building, bathrooms, concession.
Okay.
we did talk with Wagner today, and we supposed to be trying to get some through hood or whatever.
Some, little storm shelters.
Right. The school said they will support us too.
Well, the thing of it is dealing with that we can, with the county as well, come in and have the finance. It's 5 or 6 ways that you can finance that without to get the ball rolling. Honestly, to get the ball rolling, we can go in with the county and have it financed and pay on it.
That's what the storm shelter.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to get the numbers.
The county agreed to help out.
Yeah, give us the numbers. Yeah, give us the numbers, and then let us do our job. You got the numbers? Okay, good.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Deputy CEO, any questions for Mr. Sherman? Mr. Longstreet?
Nothing, Mr. Mayor, go with the personnel status report, that we have in your packet, for the increase in pay for Mr. Lennon Robertson and Mr. Ethan Dunn.
They on the pay scale list. They in alignment with the pay scale list. Okay. So move.
Does that need board action?
Yeah, we went over last night.
I mean, do we need board action?
No, we don't need board action because it's already. We need it. So move.
Second. Been moved properly second. Clear on the motion. Any discussion? All in favor, by sign of vote aye. Any opposed? I'm sorry? Okay. CAO, well, Mr. Samuel, do you have anything to report?
I mentioned to you last night, what's in my report, I need to publish 2 newspaper ads. One is for the request for qualifications for professional engineering service for the airport. And also need to publish a request for bids for the upcoming AIP project this year. And I ready to go that to be published and approved by the end of May. And there's a copy, if you need, I'll give you a copy from George, we got them in here.
I only have 1 copy.
There's enough paper in the folder already, enough paper in my folder too.
So you need approval to advertise?
Have them published in the paper.
So move.
Second.
Moved and properly second, clear on the motion. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye. Any opposed? So ordered.
All right. And most of you know that we have a couple of projects that are present. One is the sewer line is up of Highway 45 by Lakeside Drive and Young Motor Steakhouse needs to be replaced. We've been having to pump the manhole down almost on a daily basis. Need to get that line done. We got in 3 quotes. I'm asking to let the low quote go for the notice to proceed as soon as possible.
How much is the quote?
What is that? You remember 168,000.
Where does that funding come from?
It's got to come out of the water department. It can be an ARPA project if you want it. We can pay for it with ARPA money.
What do I hear?
Let's be all make the motion, we gotta get it done.
Second.
Move proper second in discussion. All in favor by sign of voting aye. Any opposers? So ordered.
And the same thing is true on the lead and copper identification and reporting is required by EPA. We got 3 quotes there, low quotes tonight, environmental services. That's who I recommend we go with.
Y'all, did y'all discuss it last night?
We gotta get that done by.
Y'all discussed this last night?
Not the amounts. Do you
Not
have
the
that
amounts.
amount?
Oh, Jimmy, you remember? It's about 200.
Out of, what is coming out of water park?
Well, if you get water department, we can use ARPA money for it if you want to.
I mean, are y'all confident? These seem to be hefty amounts to me. Are we budgeted? Money's fine to take on these tasks? I mean, I know they gotta be done.
It's hard to budget for sewer lines collapse and breaking stuff. We have outside.
So we don't have line items for surprise stuff like that to happen?
Outside services, we do that.
So is that where the money will come from, that outside services line item?
As much as can be, I don't remember exactly. Do you remember how much was in there? Most of these projects, again, something that we have to do, we've been mandated by EPA on the water.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I just want to make sure that we have, means to pay for it.
I believe we do.
So you recommending, what's your recommendation?
I know we got the money to pay for it.
I'm saying, what's your recommendation? What's your
Night, environmental, lead, copper, water lines.
what's their price?
He said about 200,000.
About 200,000.
196.
We usually get the quotes from different companies on paper to see what happened with that. Just say, well, we got it, this, and we're gonna vote for this one. We just made a motion for 2, we're making a motion for 2 monies to be spent, but we don't have no.
I can't speak to that one.
So this is mandate, this time sensitive.
I mean, we make motions on stuff, we don't have
Mandate.
no clarity on it.
It's time sensitive.
This is time sensitive and.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, well, if it's time sensitive, then Jerry, why did we have a copy of it and showing us that, like we always with everything else, with the bids and stuff, if it's time sensitive?
You know, Mary's not here right now. I thought that we were gonna have the quotes up here tonight, but they're not here. But I do recall them out there. It's very close numbers.
And it's time sensitive.
Yeah, so we're mandated to have this done by the end of October.
Yeah.
Let's say that we've been talking about over.
Lead, the lead, deal.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we need it on paper.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and there's, we knew we were having a board meeting tonight, so we should have had information prepared for the board, I agree. But nonetheless, this is where we are, so what's the pleasure of the board?
So move.
So,
Move properly second that we take the recommendation of CAO Jones on this vendor.
In future, I would hope that we have all the bids in front of us so we can look, please. That's in everything.
I'll send them to you.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones, this will be pursuant to a contract.
Yes, sir.
We execute a contract, and I get a copy of that contract. And they're gonna try to identify, or at least do a survey of the lines to determine whether we have lead service.
The contract basically requires them to expose all the water lines, either side of every water meter we have. There's a few that's in concrete, you may be able to tell inside the box. But some of those, if we can't identify them without tearing up a 14 feet of sidewalk or something, we'll just take the action. Say that.
And if we find lead lines, are we required to notify the homeowners?
Absolutely, that's part of their contract too. They're also doing GIS coordinate surveys for every water meter with serial numbers. And,
The idea is to give notice so that if people have lead service lines, they're aware of potential problems with
we have, how many days?
ingesting lead.
30 days, we have to notify.
So we find out within 30 days, we have to do that. Who's gonna keep up with that?
And that's something that's, there's gonna be a lot of moving parts to this, so.
And I take it that there are fines and other things if we don't comply with the regulation.
Yes, sir.
So we need infrastructure in place to keep up with that. I think that the EPA is probably
We do.
not gonna play around with compliance.
This is something that will never go away. You'll have to keep up with this forever.
So are we geared up for that?
That's a good question.
Are we geared up for that, CAO Jones? To keep up with all the documentation that he's alluding to?
I believe we have, once we get the initial database done, it's gonna get tracked through the work order system. We put in a new meter, we'll know if we put it in, what type of lines went into it, what type of lines going out of it. And, basically just keeping up with work orders for removal and replacement. Can we do that? I know that Margot has the ability to do it.
So is that gonna be Margot's responsibility? Is that what?
That's what we're gonna ask her to do, and I hope that you realize that that's a bit of a workload, but she's willing to do it.
She gonna want more money.
Is she willing to do it?
Oh, yeah.
I differ in opinion on that. If we're the superiors, if that's what we need done, that's what we need done. I don't think it's an ask, it's a request. If it's a mandate, we request that it falls under the job title that she has, then that's what she has to do. That would be my opinion.
Well, that's what the plan is.
Okay.
My concern is that after Flint, Michigan, the EPA is vigilant about lead in water. And no one wants that again, and no one wants to show the responsibility of it, government officials or the EPA. And things roll downhill. So we have to make sure that
Michigan
we
is
comply with those regulations.
we're in.
And to echo what the attorney said, now we got to get this right. I don't want to play around and fumble the ball.
We find some outside service after this is, the inventory's done, to handle this for us.
Why?
To keep us out of trouble.
Why we can't do in-house? Why we can't do in-house?
So there's a lot of moving parts to this.
That's spending more money. Because people might want to do it. And that's what I'm hearing. If they feel like doing it, they'll do it.
Yes,
that don't sound right. We're gonna spend more money to go outside and hire somebody because our people might not want to do it. That's how I'm interpreting. I might be wrong, but that's how I'm interpreting it.
Let's keep our eye on this and come up with a plan to make sure that we fall within the guidelines, because we don't want to get in trouble with the government on this, in light of what the attorney said and what we already know. So can we just keep this in the conversation and make sure that we don't drop the ball on this?
You might know there is a third party, the H2O water. They offer to do it for $25,000 a year just to do updates.
See, that's what
I'd probably do it for $25,000 a year.
Right. See, that's the thing. We outsource it.
I probably would.
So
Right.
to outsource.
But that really, once the initial is done, then you're working off your work order system and replacement for meters and stuff. You have something, Eddie?
Well, I was gonna say, due respect, Mayor and Board and the city attorney, we went to a, work session, a seminar that was presented by Homes Light Water under Dr. Renell. Angela Verdell's leadership of the Combs Like Water. There are a lot of moving parts, but all the EPA wants now is an inventory list of your water lines.
Which is what this contract is
Yes,
about.
sir, that's the contract, and they will go from the meter to the house to see if it's lead, copper, or galvanized. And on the other side, from the meter to the line, to see if it's copper, lead, or galvanized. That's initially all they want. Now, Mr. Department of Health put out a guideline, which is a little bit more stringent, and I think you should have been privy to that, Attorney.
I'm well aware of it and well aware of the litigation surrounding those issues.
And so, as T.A. Jones has said, once we get that list of nice, because we're paying them a lot of money, and the water sewer line painting the water meter so that they can easily identify as blue. You may have seen that they went around painting the water meter. Now, it is their responsibility in the contract to do exactly what we have told them to do based on what EPA wants. So once they do that, then you'll have your master list of the 65 to 6,600 water meters. Okay, and it will say lead, copper, or galvanized. And then from that point on, you put it into the database. And then as work orders are developed from either the electric office or from the warehouse, the water sewer department, it is that responsibility to put that information in the system, added to the 66 or 6,700, whether it's PVC or copper. So you got your list. So you spend $196,000. They're not going to give you the information. You retain it on hand to submit to EPA by October 16th. And then from that on, like you said, then whoever is charged with that responsibility of documenting new meters and meters that are being replaced with what type of equipment that's going in the ground, whether it's copper or PVC. You know you're going to be putting in lead. So it'll be either one of those two. That's very, very simple to keep up with. I didn't see a need to, in my deliberation, to approve, like you said, Selectmen, extra $25,000. Well, we got people who have the expertise and no aptitude to keep up with the list. And you already paid.
Exactly, and that's my position. We're not gonna third party out anything, and we're paying, and I see the payroll every pay period. We have a very hefty payroll, so nobody here is working for free. And if something arises such as this that falls under the scope of your job description, then it's incumbent upon you to perform your job description. Not use it as a way to get a raise or use it as a way to get extra money. No, if it falls up under your scope of what you're supposed to be doing, then let's get it done. Now that requires team players. And I know for a fact that we have some not team players in this city. And I'm well aware of who they are. I get sick of it, but I know who they are. So we just got to make sure that we don't drop the ball on this and that we don't just open up a checkbook and just, say just frivolously paying out money just, because we don't want to deal with it. That's not the approach. And it's not browbeating you at all. It's just saying that going forward on this deal, we're going to be watching it like a hawk. And if stuff that we can do in-house, we're not going to take a begging and asking approach. This is your job. This is what we need done. It's mandated. Let's get it done.
Agree.
And that's just my position.
Totally agree.
Anything else that you have to
I
report?
think that's the two projects, lead and copper and the sewer line.
And we made the motions. Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Question for Mr. Jones. Just the status of that narrative that we discussed yesterday on Northside School, because that's time sensitive.
We got all the paperwork today, and Orlando have reviewed it with me, so that we get the letter prepared for y'all to look at, to send to DFA for their blessing. Tell them we want to keep the money.
Orlando, is
And we tell them how we change the project name from Alumni to AIGC.
Is it any kind of way with that money that we being the custodians over that money sitting there? Is any kind of way that we can put that money in an account where we can draw interest and we can We can make money off of it.
It's not an interest-bearing account?
It is.
I don't remember if it is, I think it is, but I know it's in an individual account. And I know the balance is something over 480,000.
I'm saying, are we making, is it making money?
It draws interest. It's a low interest rate because of the time that it was actually, as they were touring, the market was down. So it's drawing interest. That question was posed to DFA, and DFA was a little answer about, they're not giving us money to put in a bank account for us to accumulate interest. We're giving you that money to work on your project.
That's a quote.
That's a quote, right? From DFA.
But that's not law though. I mean, that's not law though, right?
That's the person who oversees all of this, under the law that they draft.
Okay.
So the earmark for that building is the earmark for that purpose. They the only one can benefit from it, not the city. You know what I'm saying?
No, the city can benefit from it.
So from interest.
But, well, here's the deal. We were very successful at negotiating the ability to deposit certain funds that you weren't gonna be expended, like the ARPA money, for a number of months. You got a really good interest rate, invested them in CDs. And so we're doing over 4%, where these other accounts are doing that, probably doing 1% as old as it is. And the bank has agreed on any of these other accounts that we have like that, if it's not at the 4%, that they're not 4%. It is 4%, 4% that they offer for other accounts, we'll double check if they're not paying that, we'll remind them of their promise to honor that freight.
And that was my question, since we are administrator, could engine over to us on?
It does.
Well, I understand the DFA said the primary concern is the use of the money for the North Side School, so I have no additional comments.
Okay.
And
This one be right?
should the project not be named something dealing with Northside School rather more so than whoever, right, the owner is at the time? Because that's kind of how we are where we are now. So that's just kind of my suggestion, that we just broaden it up to Northside.
Yeah, they tend to put when they send the document, they tell us what the project title is. They name the project title.
And that comes from the legislature.
Yeah, it's through the legislation, so there's a project title, and then on it just says the project, and so that title was established. Selectmen returned some years ago.
But it's going to have to be renamed though.
You're right, I mean, so you have this issue where there's a change in ownership.
Right.
And so you don't want the tail wagging the dog. It's not who owns it, but the fact that you want to get the repairs done.
So anyway, we'll just look for that letter.
I think we can come to something this week, I would think so.
So as I understand it, there's been an extension with respect to the utilization of the funds. There's been a deed that transfers ownership from the school to a 501c3 organization, which I hope and believe is a 501c3 organization. Right. So we want to verify at least that, so that when we talk with DFA, they're going to say, so the National West Point Alumni Association was a 501c3 entity that had community interest. This new owner is a 501c3 organization that has community interest. So if it's same, and the city is guardian of the money, and architects have to submit certifications that work has been done before city cuts a check, then I think that we'll be fine. So that's what we'll do with the DFA.
There's what Gil has asked for. There's a litany of attachments, chronological attachments.
Quarterly reports, keeping up with bank statements, those sorts of things.
Do we have
Tosh was doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Any more?
That's it from me.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, we'll move into our public appearance. We have Mrs. Kimberly Coffin here from Hope Credit Union. If you would come to the podium. Thank you for being so patient.
Hey, Kim.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey.
Thank you for inviting me and allowing me to speak. Actually, I'm just here to introduce myself. I've been here for a couple of years, but Some I have met, some I have not. So my name is Kim Kaufman. I've been with Hope, like I said, for a little over 2 years. And most of you all know that Hope took over B&W. They've been in the community since 2017. And I'm just here to let you all know that we do everything pretty much that the banks do, the traditional credit unions do, but we are a nonprofit credit union. We are here to serve everyone, but especially the underserved. If you know people that don't have accounts, maybe they need a second chance, that's what we're here for. If they're trying to get a house, where I heard the selectmen say that the banks won't talk to them, Hope will. With a 580, Hope can find you a house. Or if we can't find you one, we will help you get in order so you can get a house. So, like I said, we're just here. I just want everybody to know that we're here to serve. I invite all of you out to stop by the branch and, speak to me one-on-one, speak to the staff, and I invite everybody in the community. You're more than welcome to stop by the branch anytime. That's all I have.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn to determine the need for executive session?
So moved.
So moved.
Oh, sorry.
Look, I apologize, this will have to be a apologize. I met with, Director Chris Cox today. We looked at 3 property sites, like the property, so we're gonna go through the process of possible demolition. So I just want to keep y'all in advance on that right there, so I forgot it earlier, I apologize.
$10 fine.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Moving properly second, any discussion, all in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Opposers? So ordered.
Jerry, did you turn your ear up?